Hey, everybody out there in social media land. We are talking with another one of our fantastic facilitators for the Future of Strengths Forum V2 2025. This is our virtual global forum bringing strengths curious, strengths enthusiasts, and strengths masters all together in one collective space. And we are certainly hoping you're going to be there. It is October 2nd through the 4th, although for people on my facilitator side of the world, we're looking at October 3rd through 5th. And just before anybody says anything, we did not color coordinate today, but somehow we were in the zone for this. So you can see we are connected, even though we are 14 hours difference. So Nina, please, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and let the people know a little bit about who you are, where you are, and what you are doing in the world.
Okay. Thanks, Joe. Well, I'm in Sydney, Australia, and I am a leadership consultant and I'm a accredited strengths coach. And I have a coaching company called the Gold Room. And why the Gold Room? It relates to when I actually first started coaching people, which was about 14 years ago, and the room that I used to coach people from.
I love it because I know when people look at your brand, you've got a little gold, but those are not your colors for your brand. So I always think it's really kind of fun, that
Yeah, I
juxtaposition
know
of your name with your colors.
you're the person that gave me that feedback, and it's yeah,
Oh, I
I
don't think it matters. I think it builds curiosity, and I think it's fun for
yeah.
people to be like, huh, I want to know more about that, which I think is a great thing. So,
Mm.
um, and I also think it's really funny because many years ago I had the idea to call my business the Yellow Door. So again, I
Oh,
think there is synchronicity uh in
wow.
some of what we're doing. That's years ago. It never came to fruition, but I had like the whole little logo and the whole thing. Yellow Door was like this thing that I was building for community stuff. So anyway,
Yeah.
enough about me. This is all about you. What are you going to be doing for us at the Future of Strengths Forum? Nina, give the people a little taste of what you're going to be offering during your session.
Okay, all right. The title I've used is Courage and Self-Leadership, the story we tell ourselves. And what I'm going to be talking about is a book that I'm writing at the moment. And the book is 47 Pairs of Shoes. It's about giving my audience the opportunity to walk in my shoes. It's a memoir, and it's a story about when I had bone cancer, a very serious bone cancer, and what I actually learned through that process, which brings me to my business today and why I'm coaching and why I'm using strengths.
I love it. I love the title of the book. I think that's very intriguing. And I love the idea of walking in your shoes. And there's another little synchronicity. I got started with strengths due to a cancer scare, though I did not have the journey that you had. Mine was merely going through the diagnosis stage. And fortunately, it was a negative diagnosis, but it was still a week of soul searching and what happens if, right?
Yeah.
That happened for me. So not even remotely the extent to what you went through, but um, I know there are those life-changing moments that can really be big or be small, but something that kind of knocks us for a loop and makes us make a different choice, right? And really think about what it is we want.
I think that point, Joe, of what happens if is a big one because I remember years ago, long before this ever happened, and I was introduced to a coach through my corporate days. And I actually don't like this exercise, but she got me, and many people will know of this exercise, to write my own eulogy. So, and it was very curious and it was like, wow. And at the time I was 47 years old and trying to think of what the next 40 plus years might look like. But I think having a health scare, it really does make you turn around and think, what do I want the rest of my life to look like? And do I really want to be on this hamster wheel that I'm on at the moment? And that was my question.
I will edit this next part out if you don't want me to include it, but I gotta say this. Okay, Nina, you worked with me for a little while, and you just said that you did not like the exercise of writing your eulogy, and you did it when you were 47. I know you are a little past 47 at this point. And when we did the language of you together, the last piece of that puzzle is to do your eulogy or a toast someone will give you at your 90th birthday. I'm kind of curious because I know you still didn't love the exercise, but I'm also kind of curious if you saw any shifts since time has passed.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And I just find the way you positioned a toast at your 90th birthday to be a much more positive process. It's a much more positive process. And why it's a more positive process? Because interestingly enough, I gave my father his toast at his 90th birthday. And I also said my father's eulogy. And I did use, and it was only 2 years after, and I did use pieces from his 90th birthday toast in the eulogy. But I think, Joe, why I prefer the toast at your 90th birthday, we're talking about celebrating a life with the person that's there. So your witness to what the person is actually saying about you. I just find it a much more positive process.
No, I love that. I was just kind of curious since it's obviously a very similar exercise based in the same thought process, but also the difference of timing for it too, to see if anything had changed.
Yeah, well, the timing was, that's a big difference because I'm a much more mature person. I think now, being through more, and we've, I've probably had the opportunity to think very carefully about the end of my life. Where at 47, maybe when that happened, I was about 45. That was something I probably didn't even want to think about. So maybe it was a bit confronting. Yeah. So maybe the key is we understand our audience.
I think that's really important. And I still propose that particular exercise that you can write a eulogy or a toast for your 90th birthday. If I'm doing it with leaders, we make it about your retirement party. If we're looking at a leadership focus, like there's a lot of ways to do it, but it did start with that original eulogy exercise, which I think is actually a Covey exercise, if I'm not mistaken. I wrote mine as a eulogy just because I had been through that process with my dad when I was 27 of writing his obituary with him. And it was a really positive experience for me to be able to do that. So it didn't bother me, but I also had a lot of people who were much younger, and the thought of having to write their eulogy was just like there was no way they were going to be able to do it. So I was like, okay, well, let's think about it as a toast at your 90th birthday. Like let's flip the coin. And that's what did it, was just having people who reacted very negatively and thinking, okay, how can we reframe this and get the same outcome?
I think that is the point. And I think in the coaching process is putting it to the client. What feels more comfortable to you? What would you like? Yeah, what would you like that to look like? And is it a 90th birthday celebration, a retirement celebration, or is it is it how somebody saw that your life played out?
Yeah. Excellent. Thank you for that. So we're going to wrap this up. This is our lovely little quick and dirty interview process. But I do want to ask you one more question, and it is related to the future of strengths. I just need you to pick a number 1 through 5, and whatever number you pick is the question I will give you.
3.
It seems to be the most popular one. I'm going to start mixing them up.
I'm now nervous.
No, it's okay. It's a great question. In a world where strengths is a shared language, what becomes possible?
Okay, I talk a lot about how important it is for staff to be seen, for leaders to know who their people are, and even for the leader to be seen and to be understood. And I think that that is when we're using strengths as a shared language, we start to really understand where each other are coming from. And I think I know that just makes things much more efficient at work. It builds teams that are much more tolerant and understanding of each other. And it builds leaders that are able to enable their people, because we start to understand that we don't all go through the same process to get to a result. So yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah, no, I love it. And thank you. And this is why I love it when you kind of shine a light out there and you find your people,
Yeah,
right? Because a lot of the people that do come to the forum are people that think about this as a shared language, that think about strengths as this bridge that brings us together, whether it's building tolerance or confidence or compassion or communication, right? It's this language that we're using to start fortifying and not just fortifying, but really amplifying our relationships in a more positive way, right? So thank you so much for your time, Nina. I'm really looking
absolutely.
forward to you participating and sharing your wisdom with the group that is out there. If you haven't joined yet, that's okay. There's still time. We still have registrations open. So do hope you'll join. Please follow the link at the end of the video. And if you have any questions, I'm around to answer them. And I'm sure Nina would be happy to answer some as well. So thank you
I'd
very much,
love
Nina.
to.
Have a great
Thank
one.
you. Thanks, Joe.